Picture this. You're on a safari in the heart of Africa. Out of nowhere, the ground starts shaking. From the left, charging at 30 miles an hour, is a 2-ton tank with a deadly dagger strapped to its nose, the white rhinoceros. And from the right, exploding out of the river with a bite force powerful enough to snap a crocodile in half, is a 3-ton behemoth of muscle and rage, the hippopotamus. They are on a collision course, and neither of them is backing down. Rhino versus hippo. Who actually wins? Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're settling one of the ultimate heavyweight matchups in the animal kingdom. We hear all the time about lions, tigers, and bears, but what happens when two of the absolute heaviest, most aggressive herbivores on Earth decide they've had enough of each other? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which titan rules this turf war, and the answer might genuinely surprise you. Now, before we throw these two into the ring, let's meet our fighters. First up, we have the rhinoceros, specifically the white rhino, which is the second largest land mammal on Earth. These guys are living dinosaurs. A fully grown adult can weigh anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 pounds. They're basically wearing a Kevlar vest of thick, gray skin that can reach up to 2 inches thick, completely immune to most predators. And let's not forget the hardware. That iconic horn made entirely of keratin, the exact same stuff your fingernails are made of, just compressed into a lethal, bludgeoning and piercing weapon. On the other side of the arena, we've got the reigning king of the river, the hippopotamus. Don't let their chubby, cartoonish appearance fool you. Hippos are dense, aggressive, and deceptively fast. An adult male can tip the scales at a staggering 8,000 pounds, meaning the hippo actually holds a serious weight advantage over the rhino. Their skin is over 1.5 inches thick. They secrete their own natural red sunscreen, and their mouths open up to a staggering 150 degrees, revealing canine tusks that can grow up to 20 inches long. When analyzing an animal fight, it always comes down to offense and defense. Let's start with the rhino's offense. A rhino is a specialized battering ram. When a rhino charges, it's putting its entire 4,000-pound frame behind a solid horn designed to puncture, flip, and crush. In the wild, rhinos have been known to flip over entire safari jeeps like they're plastic toys. If a rhino catches a hippo broadside, that horn is going to act like a spear through armor. The catch? Rhinos have notoriously terrible eyesight. They can barely see anything more than 30 feet away. They rely almost entirely on their incredible sense of smell and acute hearing. So, if a hippo manages to sneak up on land, which happens more often than you'd think, the rhino might not even see the attack coming until it's too late. Speaking of the hippo, let's talk about its secret weapon, its bite. A hippo's bite force is measured at roughly 1.800 pounds per square inch, nearly 3 times that of a lion. That isn't just a bite, that's a hydraulic press. A hippo doesn't need a horn because its entire head is built like a massive, bone-crushing vise. However, hippos have a major tactical disadvantage when they're away from the water. Their stubby legs and barrel-shaped bodies make them vulnerable to quick, agile attacks. If a rhino gets behind a hippo on dry land, the hippo is in deep trouble. So, it really comes down to the environment. And that, my friends, changes everything. Now, you might be asking, does this actually happen in the wild? Yes, it does, and the battlefield usually dictates the winner. During the dry season in places like Kruger National Park, water sources shrink down to muddy puddles. Both rhinos and hippos need these waterholes to cool down and protect their sensitive skin. This creates intense territorial friction. There are documented cases of aggressive male hippos, often high on testosterone and feeling territorial, picking fights with rhinos that wander too close to the water. And here's where things get interesting in the water. Hippos are virtually undefeated. A hippo in water is completely in its element, fast, buoyant, and utterly merciless. There are actual accounts of territorial hippos bullying, chasing, and even killing rhinos that tried to enter deep water. On land, though, the script flips completely. On dry land, the rhino holds all the cards. With its superior mobility, blinding charge speed, and lethal horn. A rhino can easily deter or fatally gore a hippo that wandered too far from the safety of the river. It's all about home turf advantage. But what happens on neutral ground? That's where things get really fascinating. Here's the major insight most people miss. A fight between a rhino and a hippo rarely ends in a death match. Why? Because both animals are smart enough to realize the cost of losing. In nature, apex herbivores rarely fight to the death unless cornered. Because a severe injury means a slow, painful death by starvation or infection. Most encounters end with a lot of posturing, roaring, spraying, and eventually, one animal backing down, usually the rhino, if it's anywhere near the water, or the hippo, if they're out in the open savanna. If a full-blown, no-holds-barred deathmatch did happen on neutral ground, statistically and physically, the rhino's piercing horn gives it a fatal edge over the blunt force-crushing power of the hippo. But in the real world, nature prefers a stalemate over a slaughter. At the end of the day, both of these animals command total respect. They are ancient survivors that have dominated their respective niches for millions of years. What do you guys think? Have you ever witnessed something wild like this on a trip? Or do you have a different animal matchup you want to see us break down next? Drop your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. I read every single one of them. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the wildest matchups in nature. Thanks for watching, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.